not be able to. All right, guys, hang on 1 second. I'm trying to get everybody in here really quickly. I am so sorry about that. And nobody watching right now, but hopefully we can get some people in here. Get you back online. Refresh this. Okay. 3 people watching, 5 people watching. Okay, we're coming back. What happened? Hang on. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Literally, I'm doing it from my phone. I need to get a new setup where I can actually do live streams from my actual camera and stream it to my computer. So I'm just gonna try to figure this out really quickly. So if you can, that's my mistake. Stuff happens, right? Live now. Here we go. 8 people watching. And let's look at the quality really quickly. Not good. Why is it like that? Interesting. Well, I don't know why I can't pull it up here. No service. And it's not the service. I mean, I'm on the internet, so I don't understand why it doesn't work. But interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna check real quick. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to figure this out really quickly to see what we're looking like. On here, it looks like we're good, but it's 10 people watching right now. Can you guys hear me at all? What can you guys see? Does the service look choppy? Does it? Shoot me a message really quickly so this way I can.
Johnson said all good.
Okay. You can see everything clearly. Like you see my hand.
Good. Sounds good. Okay.
All right.
Good.
All right. So cool.
Everything looks good.
Keep pouring the comments now. Good thing is Sasha took a picture of those previous comments beforehand. But just really quickly, what I was just, if you guys missed out or this, that, and the third.
Somebody said, oh, screen black. Alan Holmes, is the screen still black?
No. So get out of the live that you were in, and go back to my channel and watch. And there's going to be 2 of them with the same name. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry about that. So the next one, go to the one, like if you go back to JR14, right? So if you're on YouTube, click JR14. There's gonna be 2. There's gonna be one that streamed about 5 minutes ago, and there's gonna be one that says streaming right now. Click the one that says streaming right now, and that's the one that I'm in. So, so sorry about that. They look the same. And I can't change the name right now, but it looks like I can get a part 1 and a part 2 in. So I'll just do it that way. If you guys want to see previously what I was talking about with the last live, go back to the other one and review it. I'll see if it's able to review on my end. Just briefly, let me just see if it loads now. I got 3. Looks a little fuzzy. I did get 2 notifications. Screen black. No service. All good. Looks good. Sounds good. Everything's good. Screen's black. Okay, it's loading something and it's clear now. So, I'm all good now. Perfect, Alan. Okay, great. So what I was talking about previously, just really briefly before we get into the questions, just pretty much just at the end of the day, hopefully the last live saved because it was really in depth. It was really good information for not just me but for you guys. Understand that really briefly before we continue. 2020 was a really hard time for a lot of different people, for everybody. You know, all around the world. People losing family members, people can't go out, people can't go to a restaurant to eat even. And you know, like we have to be grateful that, at the end of the day, if you're going through something rough, meaning if you lost your job, or if you're not happy about the career that you're in or the job that you're in, if you're not happy about the salary that you're making, or if you're just, you're like during this COVID-19, there's just stuff getting in your mind in a negative way where you are in a negative space, always look at some positives. Now, one thing I mentioned, like if you're rock bottom, if any of these things is going wrong and you like basically have like no hope, always realize this: you're breathing today, you woke up today. So I just wanted to mention that you woke up, you're breathing, you have food in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? And you have air in your lungs. So life is very important. You know, like I've lost sight of that with doing this project build. Car keeps breaking and all upset, and there was one word in this whole series that I keep forgetting about, and it's project, meaning that it's a project build. I want to build it to this extent because this is fun to me, but I kind of lose sight of the fun because it breaks all the time. Now that's on my fault for not changing multiple things up at one time, or doing multiple things of fixing it up, so that these problems don't happen. The car's 117,000 miles on it, so things will go wrong. Besides the motor and the trans and all that stuff, but things will go wrong. But that's besides the point. Um, you know, I don't know if you guys can still see me or hear me. For some reason, it's not loading on my end here, but that's fine. I'm just gonna refresh the screen and see if it does something. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I don't know what it's doing now, but it's whatever. As long as you guys can hear me, see me, okay. Just shoot a commented thing if you can still hear me. But I gave you some examples from my own personal experience of what I was going through and some stuff that like bothered me and how did I feel, how did I want to fix them, or how do I want to look at them in the future. But a part of that where everything got all haywire and cut off was pretty much to the point where um, I wanted to talk to you guys about for 2021, what can you guys expect? But before and doing a couple of unboxings with you guys to fix this issue, but it kind of like accelerated the process for future plans because something broke that I need to get fixed. But that's fine. Now, excuse me. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to previous questions. Before the previous live got cut off, and new questions that you guys want to submit in this current chat right now. Shoot them in. Let me know what you guys think. This could be car related. This could be life related. It could be anything. So feel free to shoot away. We're gonna answer the previous questions right now.
Okay, so when in the last live, Drazen said, I know you're going with an Aerofab wing. Are you also going to run their track splitter, sorry, as well?
Splinter. The track splinter. Sorry, Rich.
I'm reading off my phone now, so it's like.
So yes, if you want to, please go back to the video that I posted up about the track edition, fully going track spec with the GTI. It won't be full track spec while I'm taking out the entire interior and all that stuff. But to answer your question, yes, there will be making a Aerofab chassis mounted rear diffuser, which I will be running on the car, as well as a Aerofab chassis mounted front splitter, which I also will be running on the car. Aerofab has been a great company, not just to me, but to everybody else. A lot of people are impatient because they shut down a lot. Because you got to understand, they're they're a small team, so they're trying to like really make sure they get orders out, answer questions, and all this other stuff. I'm very happy for Rich and Rich and Monica and Marco and what they're doing at Aerofab. As you guys know from that video, from that track video that I did about a month ago, I went down to North Carolina. No, 2 months ago in November, I went to North Carolina to actually see how they operate. What does it take to make a splitter? And then obviously the future plans for the Project MK7, which will introduce the track edition stuff that will be available also for you guys to buy as well. Like I said, and to answer your question, that will include the wing, the splitter, and also the chassis mounted rear diffuser, as well as the wide body fender flares from Boomerang, as well as wider wheels, which I have not disclosed the wheels that we are running yet, but you will find those out very, very, very soon.
Vasily asked, what did you do?
Billy.
Oh, Billy, okay.
Yeah, no, Vasily in Greek means, Vasily means Billy.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. What did you do for New Year's?
What did I do for New Year's? Oh boy. Okay. Well, I went to a party. I hung out with my girlfriend, her girlfriend's sister, a bunch of her friends. We had a good time. Celebrating into the new year. Something small because of COVID and stuff like that. Something small, something light, but we had a good time. We had a good time, and we slept in the next day. That's pretty much it. Oh, and New Year's, and also towed my car to the shop because it was broken. So pretty much the whole New Year's Day had to figure that out. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
No other questions, but Draza did say I'm sitting at 21K on mine. I guess
Mileage.
mileage.
Mileage. Okay. That's good. That's good. I wish I had 21,000 miles all over again. And a lot of people seem to think, I mean, I post up a lot of negative things because the car keeps breaking and then people are hesitant to buy a GTI. I kind of really understand why you would feel that way, but let me let you guys know something really quickly. My GTI has never caused a problem from when I bought it brand new to at 97,000 miles when I had crank walk. Now the crank walk, obviously, it's also a manufacturer defect in the block, but it's also due to the clutch that I was running, which was a DCAM MS Series twin disc clutch, which I replaced now with a BFI Stage 4 6-puck clutch, which has been fantastic.
Oh, I like this question.
Oh boy, my girlfriend likes this question. This is gonna be a fun one.
Ralph Roman said, if you can do it all over again,
No.
would you just sell the Project MK7 and buy something else, or would you approach it the same way?
See, I'm torn with this question, right? Oh, you guys. Oh, good job, guys. Let me tell you. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think, honestly, if I could do it all over again, I probably would stop at the engine rebuild series. And the reason why I say that is because I look at what I spent and I could have gotten something way, way more that can outshine a GTI performance wise, something rear wheel drive, who knows, an M3, RS5, Porsche even. I can possibly get into that territory, which kills me. But, you know, at the end of the day, I really wanted to experience this. And I like TCR. I love the TCR race cars. I love all that stuff. And a big inspiration that is Brian, Brian Frozone. If you guys don't know him, Fun for Franzi on Instagram. He races his GTI religiously, and he is a huge inspiration to that. And I keep getting closer and closer and closer to him. I can never beat him yet, but I feel as if with the Arrow, because he has a excuse me, he has a rear chassis mounted rear wing, and I believe he's also doing Arrow Fab stuff. I don't know if he announced that yet. I'm sorry, Brian. Ooh, I'm sorry. Uh, but um, but yeah. So to answer that question, I probably would not do it over again. I probably would possibly pick either maybe an R at that point, a used R, maybe buy a newer Mark 7.5 GTI, or just negate the Mark 7 platform altogether and go to something else like an M3 or a Porsche Cayman S or something like that.
My culture NYC said the RS3 is nice. And thank you, Ralph. He said good job in reading his typo.
No problem. And my culture NYC is David. Um, uh, yeah, the RS3 is nice, but it's very expensive. It's a little bit too much for my blood per month. How much Audi wants for that car per month? I don't think it's worth. It's like literally to finance that car, after taxes and everything, you're looking at about like close to $1,000 a month. Um, and that's obviously depending on credit, which I'm not worried about. But you got to really understand like um, $1,000 a month for a car, and you don't have a house. I don't think that would be the best decision. Now, if I found an RS3 used, pre-owned, well, let me not use the word used, pre-owned. Pre-owned sounds much cleaner and nicer. With the warranty from Audi, and I would only buy a used RS3 or a pre-owned or Audi RS3 from an Audi dealership. So I am backed by that warranty. I would do that. A part of me did want to get an RS3, but they're not. There are some that are used, but not within the price range. They haven't dropped in price that much. The car is still currently a model that's currently out. So to have that price significantly drop is far to none right now. And yeah, that's the answer to that question. Is there any other questions?
Alan Holmes said to talk about how you feel about Volkswagen overall, the direction, quality of the brand, and where the GTI is and where it's going.
Oh wow, that's a really good question. I feel as if Volkswagen, or like a lot of you guys used to correct me back in the day, I used to say Volkswagen, but it's actually called Volkswagen because it's German. No, 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 because it's German, it's like Volkswagen. Like so they use their V's and it sounds like F's. But uh, the brand Volkswagen, I think they definitely redeemed themselves after the whole diesel crisis and lying and really taking that toll negatively in the automotive industry, not just to them, but to the automotive industry, to the point where a lot of people pulled out of diesel because of what Volkswagen did. For instance, Mercedes used to make blue tech vehicles. They don't make a lot of diesels anymore, just the Sprinters now. A lot of companies are now going, electric, which is maybe the right, and in my opinion, is the right direction. But talking Volkswagen specifically, they say by the year, I believe it was either 2025 or 2035, every vehicle they will have a electric variant for every car in its class, meaning the Golf, which is not sold in the United States anymore. The Mark 8 Golf, just the regular Golf, is not going to be sold in the States anymore. The SUVs, and also the bigger trucks as well, and also the sedans. I think Volkswagen now has redeemed themselves. I still think, as far as like an economy car, let's just take the Jetta for instance, or even the Golf or GTI, for what you can get for that money. You get really high quality interior. You get nice sound systems. You get really nice quality finishes that you would really see on high end vehicles. I love Hondas as well, but I don't think Honda is never gonna. I, even take that for. I don't want to say never get to that point, but Honda's in another class. And like for instance, if you compare the Civic to the Jetta, in my opinion, has a much more nicer interior with the materials inside and the fit and finish and the quality of the interior noise, which is what pulled me to the GTI in the first place. I've had three Accords in my lifetime, and then I moved to Volkswagen, and was very happy with what I had, with the sound system and the quality of the interior and the fit and finish. I felt like I was in an Audi product without paying the Audi taxes, if that makes sense. So I think that Volkswagen's in the right direction. I love the Atlas. I love the fact of where Volkswagen's going. My only thing with Volkswagen right now, Sasha, I think said she likes the GLI. That's her car. That's what she really would want, and I can see her in that. Um, Now, the only gripe with Volkswagen right now is the European versus US market, meaning that there's cooler vehicles, and this is just a German thing, right? They get all the cooler stuff in Europe. When we get all the, I wouldn't say the BS here, but we get some of like the leftover stuff in the US. For instance, they have a Tiguan R, meaning like a Golf R, but in a Tiguan in Europe. If that was in the States, that would be my next car. I think I would love an SUV. I would love something that is quick. For instance, BMW does it, X3M. Audi does it, Audi SQ5, SQ3, which I don't think is in the States, but they make the SQ5 in the States. I think that they made a Tiguan R, meaning that in DSG, all-wheel drive, IS38, just like a Golf R, but in a Tiguan body, and make the body kit look and everything. That would be a car that I would be highly interested in. But yeah, hopefully that does answer your question. Also, there's a smaller variant, which would be the replication to the Q3 Audi, which is called the T-Roc. The T-Roc is a smaller SUV, the entry-level SUV. They also make that in an R trim as well, not in the States, only in Europe. And I think if they brought that to the States, that would be another car that I would also be interested in buying. Fast SUV, all-wheel drive, no issues, no problems, and it's an SUV at the end of the day. I think that would be kind of cool for the channel, and also kind of cool for Volkswagen to at least consider bringing those options to Europe. I mean, to the United States.
Okay, this isn't a question, but Sean Sterling said,
Oh boy.
"Guess who's getting a new engine? Me. It has rod knock, cause Wait, it has rod knot caused due to a 1 in a million fluke due to wheel hop. New motor going in this week.
I thought you were joking on the Instagram live yesterday because I saw that comment. I didn't want to read it because I didn't want to read. I was talking about positivity. I didn't want to read that comment. But that's serious. That bro, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Um, wow, that sucks. That sucks. Sean, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That is a very unique situation. I've never heard of an engine going because of wheel hop. And if you guys don't
He
know
said it
about,
doesn't suck.
he said it doesn't suck.
No, because I guess he has an engine.
No, well, there's probably some secret sauce in that engine, or he's probably building the motor. Am I right, Sean? Or are you just putting another OEM motor in it?
He said he's happy.
He's happy. Oh, okay.
Sean Harris said, if you get a different car in the near future, would the car have to be manual?
You know, that's a good question. I've been going back and forth with that, and I don't think so. I don't think if it, for instance, there's a couple of options that I'll discuss real quickly of what I was thinking about as a next car. One of them is an E92 M3. That would be strictly have to be a 6-speed manual car for me. For me to fully enjoy that car, yes, they come with a dual clutch automatic transmission. For me to fully enjoy an M3 for what an M3 is worth, it has to be a stick shift. Another car that I was actually thinking about that Sasha doesn't know about that I can't wait to see her face when I tell this is actually the new Mark 8 Golf R. And that car, if I did buy it or lease it, it would strictly be a DSG. And the reason why I say this is because I already have a GTI that's manual. So there's no reason for me to buy another high performance car in that platform in the manual as well. Meanwhile, the same thing's going to happen. So Volkswagen is still going to put a weak clutch in it. So as soon as you tune it, you're gonna have to spend $2,000 to put a clutch in it. So the DSG, all it needs is a $700 or $600 tune, and you're on your way. So I think for the next car, if I did decide to lease a Mark 8R, would be DSG. But something as nice as a V8 M3, it has to be a 6-speed manual. It really just depends on the car. RS3 would be another option, but again, that price point has to get lower, and that car only comes in a DSG. I also thought about the S5s a little bit, but not really, as James May would say on Top Gear, not really giving me the fizz. Not really doing it for me. But another car, and Mike from Slow Speed's gonna hate me when I say this. I have one friend that has this car. His name is Mike. Check out his channel, Slow Speed. And I have another friend named Brandon that has the same exact car. I've driven that car, I've driven Brandon's car. I haven't driven Mike's car because Mike's car is modified and it makes a lot of power. But for that car in a stock form, 2020 BMW M340. I think that would be a really good car for me to have on a channel. You don't have to do much to it for it to get fast, and it's a really nice car. And that car is an 8-speed automatic ZF with a torque converter, and that would be a serious contender as a used car, pre-owned car on the channel. So I think those options that I just mentioned are really only in my best interest right now to go forward with the JR14 platform.
Okay. Sean Sterling, just going back, he said Volkswagen fit and finish is much nicer than the Honda products in his opinion. David also said that the Tiguan was nice and just a tuned to the Tiguan. Going a little further down, Marco Gonzalez said, forget a manual, DSG is the way to go. And Sean Sterling just said MK8 Golf R comes with a brand new turbocharger made by Continental, and it's a little bigger than the OEM IS38 turbo.
So that's even more enticing to me. So now the goals, now really quickly, I do like the Mark 8. One, I can relate to the platform because it is still an MQB platform as the Mark 7 and Mark 7.5. However, it's the new thing, right? It's the new thing. One, I don't hunt for views. You guys know that. I don't hunt for views. It will do really good on the channel, considering the guys that you guys are mainly, some of you guys bought your Mark 7s or Mark 7.5s. Some of you guys probably leased your Mark 7 and Mark 7.5 and looking to get an 8. So to have a DSG, to have a Golf R, I think, honestly, in my opinion, might really be realistic. Now, in order for me to do that, I have to finish paying off the GTI, which is a thing that I'm trying to do quickly, so that by the time the Mark 8 comes out, I will be able to afford doing that and not killing myself doing that. Mark 8s are nice, but if I can't do that, then I'm not going to do that until I'm in a position that I can do that, which is another reason why I was kind of stressing and everything else with the previous conversation. But we're gonna read it. We're gonna. How many minutes are we in this so far?
I'm only 24.
24 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's fine.
Alan Holmes, he has some good questions. Any words of wisdom before starting mods? I have a 2017 Passat Type R, thinking APR Stage 1 for
Wait, read that again. You have a what?
2017 Passat. Am I saying it right?
Type R.
Type R, thinking APR Stage 1 for the 1.8 turbo suspension and brake upgrades.
Oh no, he has a 2017 Passat R line.
Oh.
No. So I was just like Type R. I was like, no, they say it.
R line. Yeah, he said R line.
R line. Okay, so I think honestly, that's a good platform. I don't think you should go crazy with it. Don't go crazy with it. Just don't go crazy with it. I believe also hit up Unitronic, because Unitronic, I believe, does stuff with the Golf that made really impressive numbers for a 1.8, where I think you'll find that car much more enjoyable and fun. So also look into Unitronic. And Unitronic, if you can do it with the 1.8, I would contact them. They're based out of Canada. Also contact Deutsche Auto Parts from Paul. Paul, Max, David, Nathan, you guys are awesome on that team. Love you guys down there. Still need to come visit you guys. But if they do offer that for the Passat, I do think that Unitronic is the best way to go, because they will offer a Stage 2 variant if they do offer Stage 1. So if you do want to do Stage 2 down the line, downpipe, this, that, and the third, you'll be able to do so with ease with just a flash and a couple of bolt-on parts.
So, David said, when will we see a new addition to the JR14 fleet of cars?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be in 2021. I'll be honest, I have talked to a couple of friends of mine that work in Volkswagen that are giving me the 411 on when the Mark 8R is dropping and stuff like that. So expect this. I have about a year and change before the R even ships to the United States, because the GTI is going to be the first car to come out. And then the next year after that, or I think 8 months after that, the R will be on US soil. So I have a lot of time. My goal, or where I'm looking at, I want to get the Mark 8R. One, it's going to be a new car. Two, it's going to be a limited edition vehicle. Second, and third of all, I really want to get into something different, so I can give the Project Mark 7 a break for a while. You guys will, and I want to just make that into the track day. So when I want to do a track day with that car, I can do the track days with that car. You guys can see all the filming and stuff like that. But the Mark 8R will be something similar to what I used to do with the Mark 7, which would be DIYs and stuff like that. And it's something that's you see him in frame?
Yeah, he's that.
Hey, this is Prince. YouTube loves dogs.
He needs a cut so
He needs a
bad.
cut so bad that he's just been chilling. He's gonna be chilling there, so it's fine. No, it's fine. He can stay there. He can stay there. So chill, Prince. It's fine. But when can you see another edition? It's probably not going to be in the year 2021, but maybe in the year 2022. So that's just my best bet on when I'm assuming that may be able to be a thing.
Bless you.
Bless you, Prince.
Okay. Marco Gonzalez said, when is the Project Mark 7 going to be complete?
I don't even know. There's a thing that people say that you're never done with your project car. I'm coming to that conclusion now. But my realistic goal, where I want the car to be, is coming to a close. Which is why, again, when David's previous question asked, when will I see another car on the channel? I think 2021 I will be fully complete of what this car I want it to be, and to enjoy it for what I want it to be. If I want to come to meets one day and just drive it, drive it at some spirited driving in Bear Mountain, I can. If I want to go to a couple of meets to meet some of you guys, I can do that. If I want to go to a couple of shows, I want to go do that. And then so if I really want to compete the car, maybe eventually in grid life and some time attack events, I really want to be able to do that. But to get that all complete, I think honestly 2021 will be the year where all that will be completed. If not, it'll spill a little bit into 2022, but majority of the modifications to make the car track TCRs ish is going to be done this year. That's the suspension, that's everything else, and yeah.
Sean Harris said, did you end up making a reaction video on the Litco Turbo? Because I'm looking for it and I can't find it.
No, I did not. Literally, the problem with that was when I put the L500 in the car, I got it tuned, and then COVID happened. Um, when I got the car finalized with the tune, I was going to do a meet and greet at the dyno and have everybody there. We're gonna have the car in the dyno. We're gonna see the numbers it makes and officially be like, yeah, it's there. This is what it is. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that. However, that video is going to come. I just need to do some just some R&D to make sure that the car is prepared to do that. It will be coming soon. I'm talking about like it's January now. We're already in 2021, so we're probably talking about like maybe February, March, and I will film people's reactions. It won't all be in the same day. It'll just be random people. So I'll just keep a GoPro in my in my car, and I'll just film people as I'm doing it, and then just get people's reactions. So you will see that video pretty soon. It's going to take me some time to get some people in the car to do that, due to COVID, due to everything else, but I will eventually do that for you.
Okay.
But for all you guys. Sorry.
Draza said, how crazy on the suspension are you going? You're going to do boatload of caster camber. How wide of wheels and tires?
All right. So I think is that the final question?
For right now.
Okay, so cool. I think I love that question ended on that question. So we're not gonna answer any more questions. We're gonna answer that question because that question leads into my surprise. Now my suspension broke. Now Sasha's gonna take my phone and we're actually gonna be doing camera work right now. So hold off your questions. Please put your questions in the comments and Sasha will get back to them momentarily. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing of a couple of things. So, Sasha, you can grab the phone. It's okay. It's like holding you like so perfect right now. So, the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to do this unboxing right here. Now, these are as you guys know, I had white line control arms on my car. As you guys also previously know, I had not had a great experience with white line products in the past, so I no longer will be running them in the future. So the white line control arms that I have on the car now will be taken off the car as of this Saturday, and I'm replacing them with these. Now, these are from Black Forest Industries, and these control arms right here are actually going to be GTI control arms, but the GTI, but everyone's asking me like, whoa, why are you doing this? Get over there. Oh, the dog doesn't like boxes at all, so he's like terrified. So these, Jay, what are you doing? Why are you putting steel control arms? You have aluminum lightweight control arms. The issue is for the wide body that I have to run, I have to pull back to regular caster again. If you guys don't know what caster is, think of this as a wheel. Right? Ironically, and this is your wheel arch. When you have caster, this is the front of the car, this is the back of the wheel arch. When you have caster, you're pushing the wheel forward. So I have a wide body that has to get fabricated to the lines of the car so that the wheels fit. So now I have to bring that caster back. So that's what these control arms will do. This is an OEM Volkswagen control arm, but there's a twist. Black Forest Industries makes these control arms with RS3 solid rubber bushings. So what I decided to do here, so normally there will be like these little cuts to give it a little bit more comfort and flex. The RS3 doesn't have that. It includes new ball joints on the end. It includes new rubber mounts here, as well as here. It's a bolt-on application. It should literally take about 20 minutes to install, and I will be installing these this Saturday. This is a part of the track series. So now again, you guys are wondering what I'm doing for the track series stuff. This is it. This is the moment that you guys have been waiting for the track stuff on the car, and this is one of the features for it. I did show these unboxings on my Instagram, which is JR14YT, and shout out to the Black Forest Industries team for allowing me to run these, and I cannot wait to actually use these and hopefully there's no issues. But I have, again, since I have their clutch in the car and also their engine mount in the car, I haven't had any issues, so these should be pretty promising. Now the big news that I have for you guys is this is all answering Draws' question, so I'm killing two birds with one stone right now. All right, so I'm gonna box these up. Sorry, my dog. Sorry. He's just like all. Open the cage for him, because he just wants to go in his cage. He feels comfortable in his cage. Okay. Sorry, buddy. I know. Okay. Don't show him yet. It's out of frame, right?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So the big moment that you guys have been waiting for. What am I going to do with suspension? As I mentioned in the previous live, GTI broke due to a suspension fault. So here is the big secret. BC was kind enough to go and help me out with some custom coilovers from the DS series. Now, a lot of people don't know this. Now, when you think of coilovers from Mark 7 and Volkswagen, you only know of them from the BR series. Now, the BR series is the entry-level coilover. The DS series, and I think it's either the ZE series or the ZR series or the ZS series. The ZS series is like the twin shocks, the twin reservoir, the twin cylinder reservoir shocks. I didn't do that. Eventually, as I get competitive, me and BC Racer already spoke about this, as I get more competitive and I outdrive the coilover, we will upgrade to the Z series. But for now, we're gonna stick with the DS series. Now, these are with a custom Swift springs. So I do have, these are specifically built. One thing I like about BC Racing, for the price point of these, I think these retail for about, this is not the entry-level coilover. The entry-level coilover starts at around, I think, $1,000 or $1,100, which really isn't bad for a set of coilovers with camber adjustment and dampening adjustment. Remind you, my H&Rs were almost $2,000, and they didn't come with camber or they didn't come with dampening adjustment. They were just lower coilovers and spring rate. But these, I haven't even I waited till today to open the box. I had this thing sitting here for a week, and this was not supposed to be installed until I go down to North Carolina to do the track stuff. But you guys will get great content when I go down there too, and I will talk more about these when we get the car dialed in for track. We'll dial in the camber, we'll dial in everything else. But I'm going to open these here with you guys now, and these will be installed this Saturday, so I will have another video for you guys this week. Not this week, let's say Saturday. I probably will have that video for the next 2 weeks for you guys. So not this Saturday, not this Sunday coming up, but the following Sunday, I will have that video for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this right now. So pretty much, these are pretty much custom rate coilovers. Like I said before, they have custom spring rates. They have custom springs. It's basically tailored to how the GTI is best suited, and then we can adjust from there. Now, another thing that I like BC Racing, they all use rebuildable components. God forbid if the shock breaks, I can take the suspension apart, give them the shock, they give me a new shock, put it all back together, and we're good as new. So that's why I really like, and they do offer all replacement parts. They do offer a fantastic warranty, and here it is. So, okay. All right, so pretty much here we have instructions. This is from 2013 Golf to current Golf, and again, this is not the Mark 6. The Mark 7 came out earlier in Europe, so that's the numbers they're going off of. Here's the product warranty. They give you a product warranty card. They also do give you pretty much like an instruction guide, I believe this is, which this is. So the DS series, which is what's this, I'll just read a couple of things. It's a digressive piston design that offers increased dampening force at low piston velocities while maintaining a linear dampener feel at high piston velocities. One of the greatest advantages of this coilover series is the low speed dampening force relates to what the driver feels. Roll, pitch, dive, and quick weight transitions on technical road courses. As I explained to BC, when I wanted to go with this coilover kit, I specifically wanted something for track use. Something that I can still drive on the street, but something that was mainly for track, since that's what I'm focusing on. The ZR series is the last series, is what I was trying to figure out. And then again, this is a disclaimer, the coilover, the type of model, and all this, the warranty information, and there's some decals in here as well. I don't want to lose this stuff, so I will keep that here. Now, oh wow, these are nice. Ooh, these are really pretty. So these are the new coilovers right here. Wow, these are really pretty. So here you have the top hat. So again, you don't use the existing top hats anymore. You have all new hardware here, some washers for spacers here, and then also, so on the H&R coilovers, this is what broke. So this bolt is not there anymore, and this shock was able to move around. Now, again, this is already preloaded. It's a custom Swift spring, as you guys can see here. Swift springs, and then also these are made for the GTI. Now, I have 4 of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll show you the rear ones in a second because I think the rear ones are separated. The springs are separated because the way the car is. Now, the good thing about BC, again, they offer a really good warranty. Again, there's camber adjustment. In the center of this with the nut, you can put something in here and turn the dampening. So you can turn the dampening, you can make it a softer ride, you can make it a harder ride for track. When you're done with the track, if you're driving home, give it a few clicks to soft setting and the car drives nice. So this is a really, really nice setup. I really do like the way this is. I can't wait to install these on Saturday. The car's gonna feel better overall. Now, if you guys are interested in my H&R codes, I did say that one of the shocks is broken. However, I am gonna be getting it sent out to get replaced. So I'm gonna have a coilover system that's good, but I can't use it for anything. So if you guys do want it, let me know. I'm gonna inspect the coils as I take them off the car to ensure that they're safe to sell. And if you guys do want them, I'll give you a great deal on them. So I just don't need them anymore. They're gonna be in my storage unit and I'm never gonna be running them again. So I would prefer if you guys wanna go low, and I'll sell you those. So that's these. So these are the fronts. So the other side for the front looks exactly like this. So I'm gonna put this back. The packaging's really nice too. So Sasha's like, like my parents a little bit sometimes. She'll say like, oh God, more boxes are in the house. So also another thing, a reason why I will be selling my ECS end links because they come with their own end links that they recommend that you use when going with their setup. So I will be running their end links on the car, both sides. And this is the rear. So the rear really quickly will have, again, we have a spring here, which is this, and this is the rear shock. I can pull it out real quick. So again, and this is pretty cool too. So you put this in the car and you do the clicks like this. See, HS right here, hard soft. So all you have to do, click it. Like that, click it back to make it soft. So pretty much it has it comes with bump stops. So as you guys can see here, so you don't crash the shock. You have that here. You have all the adjustment here for making it higher or lower. Obviously we'll dial that in when we get the car. You have the nut at the top. The rear strut mounts I think are okay. I put them in at 70,000 miles, so those should be okay. The front ones we don't have to worry about. The good thing about this kit, I don't think you don't run strut bearings or top hats anymore, so you don't have to worry about that issue. And that's gonna be pretty much it. Oh, and also the adjustment is on the bottom of the spring here, so you can't see it, but you also adjust the height of the car with the bottom of the spring. So Gio's installed this kit plenty of times, so we're gonna go ahead and he's gonna go ahead and set that up for me this week, this Saturday. And then we have the end link here. We have the other end link there, the other spring, and we have these you put in the front to to dial in the front as far as the dampening adjustment, and also you have your spanner wrenches to use adjustability of the height and adjust the height of the car. The good thing I like about these coilovers, again, you do not affect your spring rate to adjust the height of the car, which is something on the H&Rs you have to manipulate the spring rate to change the height of the car. And then you have to then readjust the spring rate once you set the height. This you don't have to do that. So I'm very excited about these, and that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Also, from Deutsch Auto Parts, there is a shifter that I'm going to be running in the car, which is the Holy Shift Kit. That's literally what they call it. And I will be installing that also, probably not on Saturday, but I will do a separate video on that. That's something easy that I can do in the convenience of my apartment or anywhere else. And yeah, so this is the big secret. I just wanted to let you guys know of the big secret, and we're gonna be installing this on Saturday. The GTI will be back on the road on Saturday, and then I just have to get in alignment after that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna put you back here really quickly. We're gonna answer a couple more of your questions, and then we're gonna say sayonara. So let's just don't worry, you can go ahead. I'll angle us back. But thank you. See, my girlfriend she does so many good things for me. All right. So my battery might die. I mean, I fully charged it before we started this, so hopefully it lasts. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. But we're gonna read a couple of comments as we go. I know there's a few questions probably about the coilovers, so or any other questions. We're at 45 minutes, so we have 15 minutes of questions, and then we're gonna 86 this. So we're gonna close it out. So.
All right, really quickly, David said, when are we going to see JR14 clothing? And then Draza said, I'm running 225 RSRs on 8.5s all around, hoping to run plus 2 degrees of caster. Should be issue free, I hope.
Yeah. Depending on how you want to run that caster, are you running a different control arm or caster? Yeah, 2 degrees of caster, so you would have to be running a different control arm if that's the case. If you are getting control arms, if you haven't done a purchase already, if you need the caster, Super Pro. Don't use white line. Super Pro. Super Pro, if you need that caster, Super Pro will provide you that caster with an upgraded aluminum control arm, and it's a much better product in my opinion. So yeah. Now David's and also draws to answer the last part of that question. You asked about the camber and everything else. What was I planning to do to suspension? Well, I showed you that, but the last part of that question was wheels. What are the wheel setups going to be? I'm not going to tell you the wheel, but I will tell you the size. It's going to be an 18 by 10 and a half, positive 15 offset. You can do your research to figure out what wheel that is. But I have a reason why I don't want to disclose the wheels just yet. But that is the wheel setup that I'm going to be going with. It is a 18 by 10 and a half, 15 offset, all the way around, square setup with a possibly either, I haven't decided the tire size yet, it's either going to be a 265 35 R18 or a 275 35 R18. It's going to be either one of the two. And David, for your clothing question, I have spoken to message a couple of people who do bulk clothing, and I like the design and I like the quality of the material. I'm just not really happy. Oh yeah, word. I don't know why I'm over here. I'm over here. It's weird. Sorry, David. To answer your question, I've talked to a couple of people this year about setting that up. Again, I need to make sure that there's a demand for clothing. I probably will do a setup for myself of everything I would want to sell, wear it on the channel, see if people want it, and if people want it, then I'll start getting orders together and getting it shipped out to you guys. But I need to figure out the quality first.
While you were revealing your parts, Tom H said 20 minutes until you find out you have to drop the whole subframe.
20 minutes to find out that you have to drop the whole subframe. Be more specific with that statement. I don't know if it, well, with yes. So another thing that I was thinking about doing while doing the suspension, or maybe later on, is maybe doing an RS3 subframe. RS3 subframe is aluminum rather than steel. It's lightweight, and it will compensate for the fact that I'm putting steel control arms off the car, and putting steel control arms on the car, and taking the aluminum ones off if I run an aluminum subframe. Yeah, I don't really know what you mean by that statement, but with the coilovers, I don't think you need to drop the subframe, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I've done coilover installs before. No, you don't have to drop the subframe. I've done taking out shocks with Calvin. If you guys don't remember the video with the H&R springs, I took shocks out of the car before without dropping the subframe. Even with these coilovers, I did not drop. Well, we did drop the subframe because we were doing other modifications with the subframe, but you don't have to drop the subframe to take out the suspension on the car.
Jaws at first said, "Oh, what spring rates?" And then going back to when you answered his question, he said, "I'm looking at STXTAs. Their mounts offer camber and caster."
Okay, so the good thing about STs is that they're a sister company to KW. KW is a really top-notch company. They make really, really good stuff. I believe also the entry level for them is SoloWorks as well. That's also a subsidiary company to KW. I'm not sure exactly what the spring rates are. They're in my email as I was talking to BC, which I can't find at this moment of time. I'm sure there's another manual on the bottom of the coilovers that'll specify what those spring rates are. And also, I'm going to go over that with BC as well to ensure that it's the correct spring rate if we do have to make any adjustments.
Okay. Reality said, are there any downsides to springs over coils? I'm not racing, it's just a daily drive.
Yes and no. If you're just doing daily drives and spirited drives, yes and no. Springs, if you really just truly want to lower the car on stock wheels, it's fine. But it's when you want to get into adjusting things. Like for instance, if you buy a wheel that's too big or it's too aggressive of an offset, then you run into an issue of possibly rubbing. Now the good thing about coilovers is you could just simply raise the car a little bit and you'll be fine. Springs, you can't do that. So you just have to keep that in mind. Now springs, H&R springs, I sold mine already. Shout out to Anthony who bought my springs. Basically, with the spring, with the spring, you do have a progressive spring. It does keep the comfort of the ride. It makes it a little bit more stiffer, but the ride is much better. However, again, you lose that adjustability. You wouldn't be able to adjust the height of the vehicle. It'll just lower and sit wherever it sits.
He said, I'm just trying to get nice fitment.
Okay. If you're getting fitment with stock wheels, you won't have an issue. But again, if you upgrade your wheels to something nice to get that fit and finish, do the research first to see what size wheels fit best with springs. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sean Harris said, would you say that stiffer springs make you feel more G-force in your car?
Stiffer springs? No. The whole point of stiffer springs is to actually prevent body roll. So if you have a stiffer spring, you're gonna feel less G-force. The more G-force you have, the more the car is like leaning or something like that. Now, again, you will get G-force regardless. There's no way to negate G-force completely. But again, like for instance, if I'm throwing the car, let's say from driving straight, and I make a left turn, the G-force is going to go to my right. Now, with a softer spring, the car's going to lean more because the spring's able to flex more. With a stiffer spring, the stiffness is not going to be able to make the car flex as much. So, always realize that. I don't think so. To answer that question, a softer spring will give you more G forces. Relatively, I believe in a science perspective, G forces when it comes down to a stiffer spring will give you less G forces than a softer spring. Anyway.
Hi, Mike. Mike says hi.
Mike Slow Speed?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? We actually had a good conversation yesterday too. About like, man, I'm just over it. He's like, man, I was there with the 435, man. That's why I got an M340 now.
Jonathan said, just to comment on what you said about the stiffer springs, he said that it makes the car more predictable, better on track, of course.
Absolutely. Think of it this way, like if you had a really soft spring, the car can do this. Like let's say if I'm driving straight and I make that same left corner, if your suspension's really soft, the car can do this. Like let's say if you hit a bump, and then you hit a bump and you divot, it upsets the balance of the car. So I look like I'm dancing really weird right now, but I'm making a point. If I'm making a left corner, don't do that. She's laughing at me. When I'm making a left corner, the weight of the car is being transferred to the right. So then, if I hit a divot or a bump, then it's going to upset the balance of the car and it's going to do this. Now, if you have good tires or suspension at that point, that's where it's really going to matter. Versus a stiffer spring that will literally just do this. It'll probably do that. It'll be stiffer, and then you hit a bump, it'll be like this, but it won't wallow around. So that's just, it. So yes, it makes the car a lot more predictable, which in retrospect, in a real world, will make you more confident to go faster around corners, which will also decrease your lap times on a track.
Yeah, that's it about it right now.
That's it. How many minutes are we at?
You have 6 minutes left.
6 minutes left. All right. So guys, I'm gonna stop with the questions. Unless if you have any more questions, shoot them really quickly. But again, talking about what I talked about in the previous live, this is fun and games. If you do get stressed out about this type of stuff, don't let it get to your head. It's all a game. It's all a game, and it's a game that we are all willing to play because we modify a car. Even if you do a tune or you do suspension, modifying's fun, but there is a drawback. So you just have to keep that in the back of your mind. Um, Realize that it's not the end all be all. Always realize that. Realize that it's fun. It's supposed to be fun. And I've come to terms to realize that it's supposed to be fun and games and have a good time, and it's faster than a regular car and this, that, and the third. So always realize that. But what we always need to know is that what you guys always need to know, and me myself, is that self happiness is the most important thing. Self worth, self love. If you feel like you're struggling through anything, make sure you always try to look at the positives. That's one thing that Sasha told me that she loves about me. And so the fact that I'm always optimistic, I always look at the glass half full. I've lost sight of that recently, but I always realize that the glass is half full. This bottle is half full. I'm grabbing it because I'm thirsty. But it's not a half empty bottle. Oh man, there's not that much stuff left because it's empty. No, look at that opportunity left because it's half full. So always look at it that way and realize that you're still breathing, you're still alive. Things can get bad, but things can always get better too. I just want to mention that and love every single one of you guys. Again, like as always, this was a great live. Thank you, Sasha, for participating and helping me out. Thank you for you guys for joining, even dealing with the shenanigans or whatever was going on with my phone or not or whatever. Thank you guys for watching. There's no more questions still?
Still, John, as I said, I'm excited to see your GTI progress this summer.
Okay. Yes, me too. Yes. Hopefully we can definitely get underway with getting this stuff set up, getting some track time, some seat time in it, just some seat time. I just want to drive it and enjoy it, get it on camera, let you guys enjoy it to the best of your abilities, the best of my abilities, the way I can present that to you guys, and work towards the next build, work towards the next car for the channel, which eventually, like I said, will be something. But again, it takes steps to get there. It takes, at the end of the day, you got to do this first. Your mental health is very important. Make sure that you're always on a positive note. Make sure that if stuff goes wrong, always realize that it can be worse. It can be worse, and realize this, that at the end of the day, things will get better.
Really quickly, Miles Logan said, "Thanks for going live, Jay. I joined late, so I'm gonna rewatch to see what I missed."
Okay, thank you. Please do. It will be posted on YouTube later on today. YouTube's been taking a little long to process stuff lately, that I've heard. So a live that's an hour and in 4K will probably take a little while, but I really do appreciate that. Definitely glad to really communicate with you guys after being here for 3 weeks. I wanted to do a bloopers thing that unfortunately was not able to happen for everything for 2020. But for 2021, you can expect great things, more car reviews, this, that, and the third, and I'm just going to be I'm very excited to when when that time will come, which will most likely be this year. Remember, 2 weeks, coilover install, control arm install, probably also a short shifter kit install as well from Shop App, and again, more reviews and stuff like that coming into the spring, as well as the track series that is coming up as well. 2 minutes, cool. So that's pretty much it. Any more questions? Any more questions in there?
Nope. Nope. Okay.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna close this live out. Remember, mental health very important. Make sure that you always stay positive. If things get to you, always look at the light rather than the dark, and then always realize that modifying cars can get the best of us sometimes, but you always have to, at the end of the day, realize is that it can be worse. I hope you guys are staying safe during COVID. I hope that you guys are, hope that everything is good with you guys and your families. And if it's not, then I hope that it gets better for you in the long run. You can expect more on JR14. You guys always remember that during life, you guys always remember that cars are still a lifestyle. So good night, not good night, good day, enjoy your day, and Happy New Year again to everybody. Take care.